I'ma melt the cow. And forget about game, I'ma spit the truth. I won't stop till I get them in their birthday suits. So give me the rhythm and it'll be off with their clothes. Then bend over to the front and touch your toes. I left the jag and I took the rolls. If they ain't cutting, then I put them on foot patrol. How you like me now when my pinky's valued over 300,000? Let's drink, you the one to please. Ludacris fill cups like Double D. Me and Ursh once more when we leaves them dead. We want a lady in the street but a freak in the bed that say Lil John got the beat to make your booty go. Take that, rewind it back. Ursher got the voice to make your booty go. Take that, rewind it back. Ludacris got the flow to make your booty go. Take that, rewind it back. Lil John got the beat to make your booty go.
When she gonna run up? When she gonna run up? Baby, break it down like that. Come on. When she gonna run up?
Good and thick, and what you get, she'll work with. Pretty face and some cute lips, earring in the tongue, and she know what to do. Make a name for herself, and she do her shit well, and know how to keep a business to herself. Come over anytime, nigga, call chick. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and she right there, and she know why she came here, and she know where her clothes supposed to be. Sniff a little coke, take a little X, smoke a little weed, drink a little bit. I need a girl I can freak with, the way to try shit, and ain't scared of a big dick. Love to get a pussy lick by another bitch, cause I ain't drunk enough to do that. Shamika, Keisha, Tara, Shonda, Sabrina, Crystal, Duranda, Lisa, Felicia, Tanisha, Siobhan, Monica, Monique, Christina, Yolanda. I need to know a whole lot and can teach me wrong. Need a ding dong, take her tongue and take her the ball. Hold on, so I don't have to do that for her. I'm spoiled. And now I like to work that hard. I like to lay back, relax, and enjoy my time. With my eyes roll back and my toes curl. When you do that, girl. Till it comes time for me to have to give her hers. Tell me what you want. Do you want a missionary with your feet crammed to the headboard? Do you want it from the back with your face in the pillow so you can yell as loud as you want to? On the floor, do you want it on the chair? Do you want it over here? Do you want it over there? Do you want it in your pussy? Do you want it in your ass? Anything you can handle. Shamika, Keisha, Tara, Shonda, Sabrina, Crystal, Duranda, Lisa, Felicia, Tanisha, Siobhan, Monica, Monique, Christina, Yolanda. When she gonna run up? When she gonna run up? Better break it down like that. When she gonna run up? Yeah, she gonna run up. Better break it down like that. Hey, I appreciate that, homeboy. Not a problem. You know I do it cause I love you. Now I gotta give a shout out to Seagram Gin, cause I drink it and they paying me for it. Shamika, Keisha, Tara, Shonda, Sabrina, Crystal, Duranda, Lisa, Felicia, Tanisha, Siobhan, Monica, Monique, Christina, Yolanda. Shamika, Keisha, Tara, Shonda, Sabrina, Crystal, Duranda, Lisa, Felicia, Tanisha, Siobhan, Monica, Monique, Christina, Yolanda.
W Boom Boom P, the radio station that plays all the new hip hop and R&B. That was the new Freaker Leak by P.D. Pablo. Something to put a little razzle to your dazzle, a little pep in your step. We gonna keep it going and we gonna play another one of the songs off of the album. It's on. 3, 6, 9, damn, baby. Just sing it to me one more time and roll. Get low, get low, get low, get low, get low, get low. To the window, to the wall, to the wall. Just wait till I got my
so clean. Then she put that question, been harassing me in the mind. This bitch is fine. I done came to the club about 50 time. Now can I play with your panty line? The club wanna say I need to calm down. Security guards gonna swing me now. Nigga drunk, then I'm motherfucker threaten me now.
She getting drunk in the club, I mean she working. And then I like to see them females twerking. Taking the clothes off, bucking naked. And yeah, hold on, disrespect it. I pop your pussy like this. Cause you ain't twins in this B.I.H. Lil Jon and the East Side boys with me. And we all like to see ass and titties. Now bring your ass over here, ho. And let me see you get low. If you want this dub, now take it to the floor. Now if your ass wanna act, then you can keep your ass where you at.
3, 6, 9, damn good. Just sing it to me one more time and go. Get low, get low, get low, get low, get low, get low. To the window, to the wall, to the wall. To the sweat drop down my ball. My ball. All these bitches raw. All these motherfuckers. All these goddamn. All these motherfuckers. All these goddamn. Let me see you get low. You scared. Drop that ass to the floor. You scared. Let me see you get low. You scared. Drop that ass to the floor. You scared. Turn that ass, hey. Shake it fast, hey. Turn that ass to the left and the right, hey. Turn that ass, hey. Shake it fast, hey. Turn that ass to the left and the right, hey. Now, back it up, hey. Back it up, hey. Back it up, hey. Back it up. Now stop, oh, then wiggle with it, yeah. 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 3, 6, 9, damn good, fine. She just sing it to me one more time and go. Get low, get low, get low, get low, get low, get low. You hear me dance now? To the wall. What's the dance now? Sweat drop down my ball.
DJ Mocha.
Hey, yo, Little John. I don't think they see this one coming. Hey, yo, check it. I'm coming through with a thick crew, player. What up? You can't believe I'm on this shit too, player. What up? I'ma sit and watch your girl put it on me. What up? I love it when you got your ass clapping for me. What up? Your big ass covered the back of my Harley. What up? Ass from the front to the back of the party. What up? That's right. Yeah, girl. That's it. Come on. Get low, shorty. Shake that shit. Come on. If you ain't got it learned, get it down pack, mommy. With all that ass you got sitting on your back, mommy. Now all my shorties need to get in line. I said because I'm only gonna tell you one more time. Cause if that ass kinda stocky, you fat, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, bounce back. While I get dough, smoke drone, get low because I fucking said so. Come on.
3, 6, 9, damn good, fine. She just sing it to me one more time. Yep. Go. Get low, get low, get low, get low, get low, get low. Come on. You hear me dance now? What's the dance now?
Everybody in the stretch if you ready go.
Don't this hit make my people wanna. 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 Don't this hit make my people wanna.
Act the fool. You better watch out. Hot shit be bringing the cops out. Come on, street niggas is ringing them shots out.
Short circuit and blacking the blocks out. Now open up the garage and pull the drops out. Rocking the fur coat, bringing the blue fox out.
Diamonds light up the block, bringing the blue rocks out. While until all of my crew knocks out. Come on,
Get your ass up on the floor.
throw your hands if you want some more.
Baby, wiggle your crotch out and peep the way we be blowing them spots out.
Come on, look how we got them ready to act out. Girl, I'm ready to get the twist in your back
Let's
out.
go.
Come on,
Drink yak till a nigga falling out.
flat on his back, now watch a nigga crawling out. Talk to him.
Said Buster,
What's up, son?
see them girl rolling, and it look like
Come on,
they asses are swollen.
my ass getting big
But
now.
if your man babysitting, then what you gon' say?
What we gonna tell him?
You gon' tell that nigga?
That's a Kavasi,
You gon' tell that brother?
That's a Kavasi,
Everybody singing now.
That's a Kavasi,
Everybody singing now.
That's a Kavasi.
Whoa.
Girl, you need to shake it off.
Too much hair on your chocha.
Shave it off.
Come on, jump, smack your ass and break it off.
And if it's too hot for y'all,
You need to take it
that's
off.
right. In case you ain't knowing, niggas, we on a roll now.
Diddy, like we done stumbled on a pot of gold now. Come on, food spilling all out of
Yeah.
the bowl now. money thick and harder to fold now. Come on.
Ladies, tell me if you're feeling alright.
And are you sure that you up to doing it?
I like this.
Listen, before you ask back, nigga, we wreck shit and we ain't even black yet. Come on.
Niggas all around and it's the rap police shut down the block.
And the club ain't even packed yet. Come on. Enough drinking at the bar, hold it down. While now, till the club is closed down. Talk to me.
Said Buster,
What's up, son?
see them girl rolling. And it look like
Come on.
their asses are swollen.
And their ass getting big
But
now.
if your man babysitting, then what you gon' say?
What we gon' tell them?
You gon' tell a nigga?
That's a Cavassier.
You gon' tell that brother?
That's a Cavassier.
Everybody singing now.
That's a Cavassier.
Everybody singing now.
That's a Cavassier.
Don't this shit make a nigga wanna? 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 Don't this shit make a nigga wanna?
I'ma get my drink on and party like it's okay. I'ma get my drink on and party like it's okay.
Said my niggas don't dance, we just pull up a pants and do the rock away. Lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back. Come on. I said my niggas don't dance, we just pull up a pants and do the rock away. Now lean back, lean back, lean back.
You don't want no problems with Harlem. You don't want no problems with the boogie down Bronx stuff. You don't want no drama with the blonde bomber, original Don Dada of the blonde bottle, the model for white America. Then Joe, your spokesperson for the Latino. Then we got Mace back to referees and everything else in between, including the percentages of the rest we don't. The best from East Coast, the Midwest to the dirty, even further to Miami, all the way back to California. It'd probably be best right now if I want Dre, get on the horn with him, tell him about the storm coming all our way. So tell a pal, grab a gal right now, get on the floor while I wait. Shake that ass a little more my way, but baby I don't dance. Not that I can't, there's a pistol in my pants. Come
Said my
on.
niggas don't dance, we just pull up a pants and do the rock away. Lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back. Come on. I said my niggas don't dance, we just pull up a pants and do the rock away. Lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back.
Attention, please. This shit here feels like the whole entire world collapsed. Bust the rhyme now, MOP now. What you want now? What you want now? What you want?
In the goddamn chat! 2021 in the fucking chat! 2021 in the goddamn chat! No more 1980, you stupid motherfuckers! Type, type, type! Type, type, type! Type, type, type!
Yeah, good morning and that, but it's Uncle Lou here, though. Yeah, that's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Also, in addition to that as well, this is Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show. We do this show year-round every Tuesday and Thursday night. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. Make sure you check out the videos. College football videos uploaded almost every single day of the year. Sometimes they're even watchable. Sometimes they're not. That determination is left up to you, the viewer. You have to watch it to figure out if it's watchable or not, though. You know? Facts. 706-786-4481. 706-786-4481 is the number. If you want to be a part of the show, we'll get to the phone lines here in just a second. First, we need to take roll, make sure everyone is present and accounted for, and then get the morning announcements out of the way. See who's here. Ball Steak is here. Get the Bag. Jamie, Nicholas, Georgia Pyro Dog, Keith Shelley. A Rat is here. Ben Miller, Bama Mike, Grant, Rack Dog, Ethan, Bread Pit, Kirby's Visor, R.W. Tyndall, Fishing Football, Jay Jones, Jonathan Aaron, Larry Pilgrim, Kyle O., Pizza Lady, Logan Barrow, Brandon Gould, Brandon Lee, Ethan Cruz, Chris Patton, Josh, David Speaks, 500 IQ, Hamilton Keener, Cade Got Game, Cameron, Mayhem Matthew, Bradley. Appreciate everybody tuning in to Uncle Lou After Dark tonight. Make sure you guys behave yourselves in the comments section. Don't give the moderators any reason to time you out. They hate timing people out. Don't give them a reason. Don't spam. If you have something to say it one time. If anyone cares, they'll respond to you. If they don't respond, that means no one cares. And typing it 10 times isn't going to make them care more. 1980 is dead on this channel. I've let you type it for 7 years, unabated. You type it now, you get a 5-minute break. It's that simple. If you want to type something, type 2021 or type the year that your crap team won a national title. Whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Everybody hit the thumbs up if you hadn't already. That's a huge help on the live shows. It doesn't cost you anything either. It's completely free and requires very little effort or time or energy. Hit the thumbs up. There's almost 200 in here, which means we should have over 100 likes. Let's see if we can get to 100. That would be great. 706-786-4481. 706-786-4481 is the number. Don't forget to super chat if you want to support the show. That's a great way to do it. Hit the super chat, donate to the show. You can attach a comment. I'll be happy to read it. Same with the PayPal link. For those of you that have PayPal and don't mind using it, YouTube steals half your super chat, which is a little excessive in my opinion, but PayPal does not. There's a Cash App too that'll be scrolling across the bottom of the screen at some points during the show. How'd that be? You think that'll be fine? Yeah, me too. Me too. I think that'll be just fine. Let's get to the phone calls and see what it is you want to talk about today. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Yeah, I cannot stand these Texas A&M. This is only going to take 30 seconds every time. These damn Texas A&M fans, and they going to win the national title next year. They haven't won a goddamn title since 1939. So don't talk to me. Don't talk to me, bro. Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks.
Yeah, I agree with you. And isn't it Texas A&M that claims 2 conference championships from like 20 years ago in years where they didn't even play in their conference championship game? Texas A&M's got some issues. The only thing Texas A&M's likely to do is continue to lose 4 games a year for absolutely no reason at all. I mean, that's just, the sun rises in the east, death, taxes, Texas A&M losing 4 games. God bless their little wooden guns and their tight uniforms that are 2 sizes too small, though. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Uncle Lou, can I get a go dog?
Go Dogs. Yes, sir. Of course you can. Of course you can. How'd that be?
That was awesome. I've been looking forward to doing that for a while now. But want to go on here and actually talk about a little something that I find interesting in the spirit of national titles, also 2021. We'll just go ahead and throw that out there. But why does Georgia not claim all of the national titles that are they're considered to have, at least in the college football record books? There's now 7 Georgia teams that are recognized as having at least a share of a national title in the college football record books, and we only claim 3 of them. I'm just wondering why we do that. I wish we'd claim all of our titles, but I'm sure there's some reason for it.
Well, we don't suffer from massive insecurity like some other fan bases do. Alabama. I mean, Alabama claims titles for years. They lost 3 games. They claim national titles for years. They came in 3rd in the SEC. They claim national titles for years. They lost their bowl game. Georgia doesn't have that insecurity issue. So Georgia only claims the titles that were recognized by the accepted ranking people of the AP, basically. That's it, 42,
okay,
80, 2021. But Georgia does, there are other publications out there, like you mentioned, who have awarded Georgia 4 additional national titles, but the university does not claim those. Like you mentioned.
Well, you know, I guess that's an part then, because I want my team to have as many titles as possible. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, obviously, I guess what really matters is how many we win from now on. But that's just something that I've always found a little bit interesting. And, yeah, you're right. You know, schools like Alabama would claim a title if, you know, some inbred down on the corner voted a national title. They'd say they'd claim that, you know.
Yeah, well, and to make matters worse, Alabama didn't even claim those titles at the time they were awarded. They didn't claim all those fake national titles until 1983, right after Bear Bryant died, because they needed something to make themselves feel better. And that's just truth. People get mad anytime I mention Bear Bryant and death in the same sentence. The reality is people live, people die. Bear Bryant is dead. Alabama was devastated, so they went back in the history books and miraculously claimed like 4 or 5 or 6, whatever it was, national titles that up to that point had never existed in any Alabama magazine, program, the student center, the athletic center. They didn't have no trophies for them, but they were depressed because Georgia won the SEC 3 years in a row, 80, 81, 82. Bear Bryant quit after the 82 season because he knew his run was over. He quit in December. He died in January. Bama claimed all those titles later that year to make themselves feel better. That's just what happened.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not too surprising, you know, for people whose gene pool is more shallow than an Arizona rain puddle, you know.
Damn.
I guess that's just, you know, the way it goes.
Wow. Makes sense to me.
Well, thanks for taking my call, Lou. You know, how about them dogs? One more time. Go Dogs, baby.
Go Dogs. Thank you for the call, buddy. Good to hear from you. Reggie Warren, thank you for hitting the super chat to help support the show tonight, buddy. I really appreciate that. Hope you're doing well today. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're doing just fine. Oh, me? Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. What is this now? Oh, never mind. I'm getting all discombobulated here. Better stay focused. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Uncle Lou, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, that's great and everything. Great in that. Have you seen the video of Larry Munson calling the Keely Ringo pick six?
Yes.
Well, the person who did it was a former teacher. I didn't know if you had seen it or not.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's floating around everywhere.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just, you know what? I'm not over the whole entire national championship win, and I don't think I ever will be until next season starts.
I don't blame you. I had an Alabama fan on Facebook today ask me, how long are you going to rub this in? I had to remind him it's been 3 damn days, and up until Monday at 10:30 at night, I was still reading 2nd and 26 comments. That was 4 years ago. So I had to go ahead and let him know. At least 4 years. I mean, 3 days, and these people can't take 3 days of gloating. These people can't take 3 days of Third and Ringo comments. These people can't take 3 days of 33-18. These people can't take 3 days of their Heisman-winning QB getting outplayed by a 5-foot walk-on. Give me a break. It's going to be a lot longer than 3 days. That I can tell you. Do whatever you need to do. Unfriend me, hide me, whatever you got to do if you don't want to see it. It's not going away today or tomorrow. So that's just facts.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got people saying, "Oh, the Keely Ringo play wasn't like one of the biggest plays in the game. Right. It really didn't matter.
It was a 1-score game. It was a 1-possession game. Of course, that was a huge play. It ended the game. What are we talking about here? Wasn't a big play. Give me a break.
You tell every single Georgia fan it wasn't a big play. You tell Keely Ringo it wasn't a big play, and Keely Ringo's mom, and everybody else.
Tell anybody that knows anything about football,
surrounding
it was a one-possession game. How is that not? How is an interception with a minute to go in a one-possession game not a big play? Whoever said that needs to get their tongue off the floor before they step on it.
Well, you know how Gumps are. Their sister wife having inbred breeding bunch of Gumps that are just butthurt that they got absolutely blown out of the water, Uncle Lou.
Yeah, I don't understand that comment at all. That's pretty alarming. Keith, thank you for the call, buddy. It was good to hear from you. Moving right along in that. Yeah, good morning though, but it's Uncle Lou here though.
Uncle Lou, this is Rob D from the chat. How you doing,
yes.
buddy?
Good morning, Rob D from the chat. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
How about them fucking dogs?
How about them dogs, man? National champions.
I couldn't call in Tuesday because I was too tired. I stayed up all night after we won Monday, and
I hear you.
It's fucking white. But I just want to say, you know, I live and die with this shit the same way you do, and I know how much you've gone through with damn comments and shit the 7 years or however long you've been on YouTube, and you know, you deserve this as much as anyone else. And yeah, so I want to ask you one question.
All right.
About next year. About next year.
Okay.
If Stetson decides to return, which I don't know if he is, because he was at the damn Raising Cane's in Athens giving out fucking people's chicken to them in the drive-thru, and so I don't know. He might just, you know, party until next year and just ride off. But if he does decide to come back, how? And because I'm like you, I was JT guy all year. I think Stetson proved himself in the end. But how much of a grace period do you think he'll get from fans like me and you, if you know his play is questionable, if he doesn't have protection, run game, and good defense?
None from me. I don't, my philosophy doesn't change based on what somebody did yesterday or last year. If whoever the starter is in week one, if they play good, I'm going to come on after the game and say, man, he played good. If they play bad, I'm going to come on and I'm going to say, man, he played bad. I mean, grace period equal losses.
That's true. That's true.
So,
well, I just want to give you a call.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Say, how about them fucking dogs?
How about them dogs?
Buddy.
All right, Rob. Thanks for the call, buddy. Appreciate that. Listen, I'm hard on Georgia quarterbacks. What do you want me to tell you? I'm not going to apologize for that or anything else I say. Anybody that plays bad, and I come on and I say, man, he played bad, and then the next week they play good, what does that have to do with what I said last week? You know? I don't understand some of the comments I've been getting the last few days. Apology. Stetson don't want no apology from me. Stetson congratulated me. So that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know about that. Stetson congratulated me in the post-game press conference. I'll play it for you here in a few minutes. If you were on the morning show this morning, you've already heard it. Chance-tastic, thank you for the super chat. He says, what's up, Lou? Great to see you, buddy. Hope you haven't been partying too much. By the way, Gomer Powell leads the cadets at A&M. Yes. Yes, he does. Thank you, Chance. Luke Bryant, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He said, screw all these callers wanting to talk about next year. Let's focus on what happened 3 days ago. Dogs on top. Congrats and love your channel. Thank you, Luke. Ethan, thank you for the super chat. He says, how about them dogs? How about them dogs, Ethan? National champions, ain't it? Yep. Yep. What does that say? Rich and something, Richard Taylor or something. Thank you for the super chat. When low on receivers, Bryce turned to his next best wideouts, Chris Smith and Keely Ringo. Bama Mike, thank you for the super chat. He says, how can we not claim fake national titles? Even Keely Ringo said we won by wearing the Bama champion hat. Is that Keely Ringo? I thought it was N'Kobe Dean, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, when they were handing the hats out, somehow a batch of Alabama hats got put in with the Georgia hats. Emmanuel, thank you for the super chat and hoping to support the show tonight, buddy. I appreciate that. 706-786-4481. 706-786-4481 is the number. We'll take up more calls, and then I'll play the clip for you. Stetson Bennett congratulating Uncle Lou on an amazing season. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Uncle Lou, it's Mayhem Matthew. I just wanted to get on here and say two things. The first thing I wanted to say is a lot of these Alabama fans don't know how elite this defense was. And I'm not talking about the, averaging about 9 or 10 points every game or whatever. I'm talking about how the leadership on that defense, there was a 1-2 plays where I think Tyndall was confused on the play, and then N'Kobe Dean gave him a tearing of the butthole. And then the very next play, Tyndall got a sack. And that just goes to show just how elite and the leadership on the defense is. Second thing is, I know you've been hard on Stetson Bennett, and I was on Mr. Pete's call-in show yesterday. And he's a Clemson fan. I just want to know, would you take Stetson Bennett or Mr. DJ?
Stetson Bennett or Mr. DJ?
The quarterback, DJ UNCLELOU.
Oh. Well, I think UNCLELOU has a higher ceiling. Right now, Stetson is better because he's been around for 6 years, but DJ has a lot more potential.
All right. Thank you for taking my call, and go Dogs. And I love to see your chat. I love to see your chat and see your live streams. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you for the call. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, good morning, Uncle Lou.
Morning.
Hey, I've been out of pocket, man. I missed the last couple of call-in shows. I haven't talked to you since our Bulldogs pulled off the Natty, man. And congratulations to you and the rest of the Bulldog Nation. And can we get a national title 2021? Go Dogs, real quick. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. So, I'm kind of coming in late to your show. And, I think you and a lot of us have been tough on the whole quarterback situation all year long, and for good reason. But at the end of the day, Stetson put us to the promised land, but you get to that final, you still got to get to that gate. And you know what? He did what a lot of us were really aggravated all year long and didn't think he can do, and he did it. And congratulations to him. I hope he goes on, and we'll see what happens next year or whatever. But you're right. Like you said just a little bit ago, you're hard on, whoever is in the game, and you've really been hard several times on Keely Ringo, and for good reason. And here, Keely Ringo, seals the game, for us. So it's just so much football ignorance out there on people's part,
Well, there's too many people that look at everything as black or white and no gray. So if I criticize Stetson in week 4 and then Stetson plays good in week 13, they then want me to go apologize for saying he played bad in week 4. That's ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, that's just insane.
It is ridiculous.
Stetson Bennett himself said, I played terrible for the first 3.5 quarters. Well, that's the same thing I said.
Yeah.
I said he played terrible for the first 3.5 quarters, but the last 2 drives were amazing, and that's all anybody's going to remember 10 years down the road. So I'm not going back and apologizing for saying Stetson Bennett played bad against Florida. You know why? Because he played bad against Florida. Yeah. But what did I say after the Michigan game? I said, man, this guy played great.
Yeah.
Auburn game. I said, man, he played great. I said, what can you say? Yeah. I said, look, if you're going to criticize a guy when he plays bad, you have to point out when he plays well. And he played well. against Michigan, against Auburn, against Arkansas, against Kentucky. I mean, he had some good games.
Biggest third down.
Oh, hell. About to rub some salt in the wound there. Biggest third down of Bryce Young's career. Third and Ringo, bitch.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly right. And I tell you what, that was the Alabama team that we have seen all year. They did score a touchdown until late, right? And Georgia's defense stepped up when they needed to and stuffed them, when they're inside the red zone. And I think we all knew that. Real quick, and I know you want to play that clip of Stetson. I don't know if you saw it, but I had somebody tell me the other day when he did I think it was the Good Morning America interview. Maybe you talked about it. But you could tell that cat was up partying all night long when he did that interview. And if you haven't seen it, go look at it. And you know what? And I think it's hilarious. And he deserved it. He deserved it, man. But hey, congratulations! It's been a wild ride. I was a new patron this year. Loved every single minute of it. Had a great time. Natty all the way, baby. Now it's just on to the future. But let's enjoy this while we can. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Thank you for the call, buddy. I appreciate that. To everybody wanting me to apologize to stepson Bennett Christ, listen closely. Let stepson Bennett Christ tell you himself.
They know how to mold young men. And, what me and Lou and every...
Wait a minute. Let's hear it one more time. Me and who? What me and Lou have been through. Yes, me and what I went through this season. I deserve everything I'm getting.
But there's a method to the madness that Coach Martin, all the coaches, Coach Sinclair, and everybody who's spent years and years and years in this industry and that stuff. They know how to mold young men, and what me and Lou and everybody else, all the players in this program have went through in the past since Cincinnati.
Tell them.
Has got us to this point.
Tell them again.
All the players in this program have went through in the past since Cincinnati.
Tell them again, Stetson.
What me and Lou and everybody else, all the players in this program have went through in the past since Cincinnati. Has got us to this point.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Got Georgia to this point. You're exactly right, stepson. You tell them. You tell them, buddy. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, good morning, Uncle Lou. How's it going?
Going
big
great.
Bama fan here.
Sorry
just
about
wanted
that.
to say congrats on the big win. As a Bama fan, I guess it kind of sucks because there were opportunities for Bama to win that game, but they just didn't take advantage of them. And like I've been telling all my friends, like you had the hilarious thing about the no excuses. You just got to make plays, and that's the bottom line. And Bama didn't make plays when they needed to, and Georgia did. But just wanted to say that fucking idiot Keith who sounded like he was chewing on his tongue when he was talking. Gumps are inbred. Gumps are inbred. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're a clown. People from South Georgia that say people from Alabama are inbred, it's like fucking pot calling the kettle black. I mean, it's so sick. But I just wanted to get your take on the funniest part about this whole thing was the Barners. I mean, you'd have thought they won the game Monday night. I mean, it was just gross. So just wanted to get your take on that, and I'll let you run.
Okay, yeah, thank you for the call. I'll answer that. I'll answer that for you. I mean, does losing a starter hurt? Yeah, of course it does. But Alabama had no problem moving down the field to the 20-yard line. I mean, you can't get down there that many times and keep kicking field goals. Generally speaking, in a big game, that's going to lead to a loss. So, did it hurt not having Jamison Williams? Yeah, probably. But how many touchdowns did Alabama score in the first quarter with Jamison Williams in the game? None. 0. I mean, there's lots of things you can point to anytime you lose. If this had happened, if that had happened, if we would have done this, if we would have done that. But you didn't. You didn't. So it is what it is. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. This is Baylor man checking in. How you doing this evening?
Doing great.
Or this morning?
Doing great. How are you?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm just a little bit perturbed.
Uh-oh. Tell Uncle Lou all about it.
I'm just a little bit perturbed.
Yeah, this is true. So, the day after the football season ended and your Bulldogs got crowned as national champions, by the way, congrats. That's got to feel good.
I'm just going to warn you, if you're about to start talking about basketball, I'm going to hang up.
Okay, well, I guess I'll switch the subject then. Anyway, yeah, that has to feel good, When your team wins the Natty, I mean, that's what sports fans, any sports fan, dreams of. Just being able to see their team win the national championship. Of course, I watched your live stream from start to finish, the ups and downs.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Thought about it.
Hold on one second. EC, this is a YouTube channel, not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Go ahead, Baylor man.
Yeah, I was just saying, I watched your stream from start to finish, all the ups, all the downs, and then the way ups, and the Hulk Hoganing of the 1980 shirt, and putting on the 2021 shirt. I'm sure that had to be the best feeling in the world.
It was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty good.
Yeah, but how's old 90 Proof for Luther doing? I'm sure I had to be rough on him.
I hadn't seen him, and I'm thinking about not bringing him back until Bama beats Georgia.
I don't know when they play again, because they don't play each other a whole lot.
They play next December.
One's in the West.
They play next December.
Oh, they did. Oh, I should have known.
Yeah, they play They play the first Saturday in December this coming year.
Okay. Well, congrats on the win, and I'll let you get to some other callers. Have a good morning.
All right, Baylor man. Thanks for calling in, buddy. Good to hear from you. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
How about it, man? Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my Georgia Bulldogs. Woo-woo. About time. Been waiting on it. I was born in '87, so first time I ever seen it in my life. And man, I couldn't have thought it would have felt as good as it does, man. I almost broke down.
Yeah, it was a hell of a game.
I just want to say, man, we finally put it together. Obviously, finally put it together, man. I mean, we had the better team the whole time. We did what makes Alabama so dominant. We didn't give the game away. We didn't lose the game.
Yeah.
And I never did all season. I never did put Stetson Bennett down because I never believed that it was going to take a super elite quarterback to get the job done anyway. I knew we was going to win the East, and I felt like we could get by, with Stetson. I was down on him a little early because the offense, in Clemson, when we played Clemson, we barely even scored. And, by the way, we started the season with a pick six. We ended the season with a pick six. And, man, like I say, when I saw Williamson go down for Alabama, injury is part of the game. I knew it is what it is. But when I saw him go down, I hope he stays healthy and hope he's okay and all. But, hey, man, I knew that had to be it right there. And when Bauer scored that touchdown, I knew that was it. And Ringo's pick six, man, we're going to see that. We're going to see that on highlights for,
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be old men.
For years, yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible. Obviously, like I say, I felt like the game was in hand. The way the defense had been playing lockdown all night, I felt like the defense was in hand when Bauer scored. But when he caught that pick six, man, that was, oh, man, all the frustration, everything.
Yeah, long time coming.
That was it. It was incredible. It was an incredible sports moment, and it was one of the better games I've ever seen.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for the call, buddy. It was good to hear from you, and go Dogs. Let's get caught up on some of these super chats here, and then we'll get back to the phones. James Peach, thank you for the super chat. He says, what does this say here? Do you think Saban trains his players into the ground? Never seen two players have the same non-contact injury in a 3-game stretch. I think all coaches, at least the good ones, train their players hard. I mean, Georgia was down 5 of its top 6 receivers heading into the season for some, because of some similar issues. I mean, knee injuries, including the one usually, and this is the case for Jameson Williams, those injuries are usually non-contact. They're just freak injuries. I mean, these athletes are running extremely fast, cutting, changing direction, trying to stop fast and then go again. That's why you see so many ACLs. I don't think it has anything to do with training them too hard. Just my opinion. Humphrey Billy Paul, thank you for the super chat. Dogs doing it doggy style. Dogs on top. Dogs are on top. That's a fact. A Jinjitsu, whatever, I don't even know what that is. Thank you for the super chat, though. Says, Florida man here. Congrats, Lou, and to all my crazy-ass Georgia fan friends. SEC East is making a comeback. Mark my words. Hashtag silly Billy. Hashtag Herbie Kirby. HBP, thank you again for the super chat. He says, basketball was invented to give skilled football players something to stay in shape in the offseason. I don't mind talking basketball, but not 3 days after the national title game. We're going to wait at least another week or 2, or until March Madness. Basketball, the college basketball regular season is the most irrelevant regular season in all of sports. Period. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter at all. You can go 0-35. You can go 0-35 in the regular season in college basketball and still make the NCAA tournament. The regular season is just completely meaningless in college basketball. There's not a more meaningless regular season than college basketball. Deeks, thank you for the super chat. It's official. There's an asterisk this year because Georgia didn't play anyone, but still won the championship. Well, if that's the case, then there's an asterisk next to every team every year, no matter their record, because around here, no one has ever played anybody. It's all we ever hear. I'm too quick. Thank you for the super chat. Daily reminder, Georgia won the Natty and Kirby is your daddy. Go Dogs. Type about it. Type about it. Oh, boy. Richard, thank you for hitting the PayPal link, buddy, to help support the show. I really appreciate that. He says, Gumps, stop beating your boyfriend, brother, uncle up and go ahead and claim another natty from 1932 if it helps you feel better, you snaggle-toothed inbreds. Do you know why there's so much inbreeding in Alabama? Because people from other states won't screw those people. Jesus. Thank you for the PayPal, Richard. I appreciate that. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, what's going on, Uncle Lou? It's your favorite subscriber, Johnny C.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
No, I just want to call. Didn't get a chance to call him the other day. I was kind of busy. Well, I wanted to call and say I had a good season for the Bulldogs this year. It was a good game. It was tough how it went down, but it's part of football. And if it was roles were reversed, I don't think any Bama fan would would be like, oh, well, if Georgia was healthy, so, you know what I mean? This is how it goes.
Yeah, injuries happen. It's a part of the game. I mean, I hate when anyone gets injured on any team ever at any point in the season. And the last thing I want to see is a team, a star player from some team get hurt in a big game. I mean, nobody likes that. But it is what it doesn't change anything. Alabama's not the first team to ever have a guy injured in a title game. I mean, it happens. It sucks, but it happens.
Hey, remember the 9th season, Colt McCoy goes out?
Yeah.
So it's happened. Well, I think that game, a lot of that game came down to Georgia's red zone defense was spectacular. I mean, holding Alabama to field goals in that situation. Those are touchdowns. I mean, instead of being up 9-3, you're down 21-3. It's a whole different game. So Georgia's stepping up in the red zone like that. I remember there was a play in particular where Alabama's tight end, he had the touchdown in his hands, and Kobe Dean smacked him, hit the ball out of his hands, and he gets in the other linebacker's face, and come on, you got to be there. Yeah. And the next play, that linebacker sacks Bryce Young, and next thing you know, you're kicking a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown right there. So it's stuff like that, little stuff like that they may not seem big at the time, but when you look back, it's like, oh wow, that was huge.
Yeah, really all season, not just this last game. It's been easier to score on Georgia from 40 yards out than it has from the 15-yard line. And you see this a lot in football. The field condenses when you get down in the red zone. There's less room for those Alabama wide receivers to run around, and teams have had a hard time scoring on Georgia in the red zone for several years, really. I mean, I think we've only given up 3, maybe 4 rushing touchdowns in the last 3 seasons total. Teams are forced to try to throw the ball. I heard a lot of Alabama fans saying, I wish we would have ran the ball when we got down in the red zone. Well, Saban is the greatest coach of all time. He's smart. And I know Bill O'Brien is not the Bama fans' favorite person, but the reality is it's almost impossible to run the ball on Georgia when you get down there. Alabama had 28 rushes for 30 yards in this game. So, Alabama, I think, should have been throwing the ball. They just couldn't connect when they got down there. I think throwing it was the right move. They just, weren't able to capitalize other than outside of that one. I forget who it was. It Slade Bolton or was it the tight end that caught that touchdown pass? I can't remember, but
yeah. There was one play in particular, it was 2nd and 1, and they decided to throw it. I think it was earlier in the third quarter. And they decided to throw it. I wanted to lose that was the only time I was mad at Bill O'Brien. I felt like in that situation, if you were going to throw it, I think they were on like the Georgia 20, and there was like 2nd and 1, and they decided to throw it. I'm thinking to myself, you're going to throw in that situation, throw it in the end zone, do a play action, but don't just throw some slant pattern that's just going to get knocked down. If you're not going to throw it in the end zone, just run the ball right there. Yeah. That's the only problem I had. I think Bill O'Brien, I think people, that he has a good game. They love him. They have a bad game. Listen, Bill O'Brien's a good offensive coordinator. And I don't know if he might leave this season. I don't know if he's going to get it out. But if he comes back, that's just another year we'll have with that team, and you'll get more comfortable. It's like that year, Sarkisian, I think it was the 19th season when Sarkisian was there. And they had a bad game against Duke, and everyone wanted Sark gone. Now, when Sark left last season, everyone was all upset. So, it's up and down with fans, and I think that Bill O'Brien's a good offensive coordinator. I think that game had to do with Alabama just having a down year for running back, had a lot of injuries. I think if you have Derrick Henry in that game, you'd probably be able to run a lot more in the red zone, but you don't have Derrick Henry no more. You don't even have a Trent Richardson. So when that happens, you can't, you're not going to be able to run against that. That defensive line's probably top 3 ever, maybe. It's possible.
It was really
That's how good that defensive line is.
Yeah.
And, for Georgia, I would be very devastated losing Dean. That guy's awesome. He can cover running back, tight ends out of the backfield. He's all over the place. He's a great leader, and I think that's going to be a blow to lose a guy like that.
Yeah, he'll be Georgia's highest draft pick in the draft. He could go in the top 10. He's really, really good. It's going to hurt
Like
losing
even
him.
Will Anderson's coming back next season, and when that guy leaves, that's gonna suck.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's probably going to have like a Chase Young 2019 type of season next year. He's going to be unstoppable. But Johnny, thank you for the call, buddy. It's good to hear from you. I appreciate you calling in, eating your crow there, doing it the right way like you're supposed to. Not like some of these other Alabama fans. Alabama literally has the phrase "no excuses" painted on their wall in the players' lounge. Apparently, the fans didn't get that message because they won't stop running around with the excuses. But the good news is I heard, let me check and see if this is true, because I heard Alabama changed it today. They went back in and repainted it today. Yeah, they did. They changed it to accommodate the fans. Some excuses. Okay, I got you now. I understand. Chance wants to know who have they played. Of course, nobody has played nobody. It's all anyone ever. Every Sunday in the YouTube comment section during the season, and no. Who have Georgia played? Woo! Yeah, nobody. Go Dogs. Sun Tzu. That's the Art of War guy. Know your enemy. Deeks, thank you for the super chat. The Ringo pick 6 is by far my favorite football moment in my life. Well, it's a good one. It is a good one. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Lou.
What's up?
Long time listener, first time caller. Yeah. How about them fucking dogs, man?
How about them dogs, sir?
Yeah. How about them? Yeah. This has been one hell of a year. Georgia alumni. My wife has had season tickets for last 9 years. It's been an interesting 9 years. Thinking back to these recent Alabama games, I think the most memorable one for me was 2015, sitting there, watching us get our asses whooped in the rain. That was a rough game. So I just think there's really one thing I wanted to call in and talk about. I find it interesting. So mostly with, having friends groups, having friends of, varying sports teams, whenever their teams find success, as a friend, as a sports fan, you always like to congratulate, nice win and championship. But I just think it's so interesting right now that, I've got nothing from people that aren't Georgia fans. It's just complete silence. It's just like it didn't happen. I don't know. What's your take on that? Like, why is it different when Georgia gets a big one versus when LSU does?
Well, it's always that way. You're always going to have people making excuses one way or the other. I'm sure there was people somewhere that were giving LSU a hard time in 2019. There's people that say Alabama's title last year doesn't count because of COVID. On and on down the list. People always do that, at least initially. But the reality is Georgia is 2021 national champions, and that's not changing today, a year from now, or 50 years from now. They're still going to be the 2021 national champions, and it's a legitimate national championship. As every national championship since the BCS era, at least, is 100% legitimate. It can't be argued. You can go back before that and look at AP polls or UPI polls or all these other whatever polls, but Georgia's the champs. It doesn't matter what anybody says about it. Nothing's going to change that.
Yeah, I agree. The next question I have is, how do you foresee, quarterback situation shaking out next year? Even with, if Stetson does decide to return, that's, definitely giving us at least one transfer with JT. From what I'm hearing from local rumors, that JT's thinking about going back home to California. I don't know any truth in that, but if JT leaves, and then we also probably have Carson back. How do you foresee that quarterback position looking next year with or without Stetson?
Yeah, I think Carson's leaving regardless of what happens. I think everything else is in a wait-and-see pattern until Stetson Bennett announces what he's going to do. Stetson Bennett, this is just my opinion. Stetson Bennett has not been guaranteed the starting job for 2022. I have my doubts as to whether or not he would earn the starting job. I think he should just leave. I mean, do you really want to be a national title winning QB and then possibly be benched the next year? I'm not saying that would happen, but there's a possibility it could. And I don't know if he wants to go through that again. He can't go to the NFL, I don't think. I mean, if he wants to declare for the draft, I don't think anyone will draft him. Maybe somebody will pick him up on a practice squad somewhere, but he's just, and I don't care. When it comes to whether being good in college, I could care less whether that translates to the NFL. So that's not an insult to him that by me saying that. I mean, do you think Florida fans care that Tim Tebow can't complete a pass in the NFL? No. So that's not insulting him. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't think he's going to come back. I guess that's just a long way to say I don't think he's going to come back. I think Beck will leave. JT 50-50. And we'll see.
Cool. Thank you for your time, Luke.
All right, yep. Thank you for the call. I didn't think there was any chance Caleb Williams was coming to Georgia, and I still don't know why he would. But what's he waiting on? What's he waiting on? Seems to me if he was going to go to Southern Cal, that would be an easy decision to make and a quick decision. My coach went there. Some of my other players went there. A lot of the recruits Oklahoma had changed to there. I'm going to go there. That seems like would be the easiest and quickest decision he could make. What's he waiting on? What's he waiting on? I don't know. I haven't the foggiest. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, good morning. First off, go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Yes, sir. You know that's right.
I just want to go down a little bit of a different path than everybody else. I think one of the most significant things that happened in that game that nobody really talks about a lot is when they moved Jamari to right guard. And I think it was because Erickson got hurt from over ankle or something. But that's kind of something we've been screaming about them doing all season. And they only did it because Erickson got hurt. But that run game looked completely different once they kicked Jamari inside.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that drives you crazy about Kirby because he doesn't make the changes that everybody else kind of sees as obvious. So I think that was underrated. I want to get your take on that. Secondly, it almost scares me because in the post-game interview, Kirby said, I'm going to always trust my gut. And he was talking about Stetson. But I think it's one of those things that Kirby's going to have to get out of the habit of playing experience over talent. Broderick Jones was more talented than Warren Erickson. So he should have played him and kicked Jamari inside all year. And that offense probably looks a lot different, especially in the run game. Just wanted your thoughts.
I agree with what you're saying about the offensive line, but even given that, I was very surprised the way we were able to run the ball on Alabama in the fourth quarter. We've done that to everybody we've played almost for the last 2 or 3 years except Alabama, especially late in games and in the fourth quarter, leaning on people. I don't know what the numbers are, but Georgia averages at least twice as many yards per carry in the fourth quarter of games than they do in the first half over the course of any given season. But that's never been the case against Alabama. Now, some of that has been because we've been behind Alabama mostly in the fourth quarter when we've played them, so we haven't had the ability to even really try to run the ball that much late in games. But I was surprised. I mean, in the fourth quarter of that game, we averaged almost 10 yards per carry against Alabama. That's quite an accomplishment. And really that's what put the game away late. Like like Georgia has done to so many other opponents over the last couple of years. But I was surprised they were able to do it that way with Alabama. All right, thank you for the call. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, this is Sharon from the Alabama Batters Wives
What's up?
Association. Consider the onslaught of calls we've had since Monday night. We're taking donations. Go Dogs.
Thank you for the call. The battered women's, all the battered women's shelters in Alabama, of course, are full up after the game on Monday, which is a sad situation. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Lou, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
National champions for the first time since 1980.
That's right.
So my question to you is, let's just start BCS era on, because I don't want to compare things from the 1970s to today. Where do you think this Georgia defense ranks? Because all time, I think they're up there. Last 20 years.
Yeah, they'd be top 5 for sure. If you want to just like look at this century, I mean, it's top 5 for sure. Alabama and LSU in 2011 had great defenses. Georgia in 2019, or was it 2018? Might have been 2019.
I think it was 2019.
Yeah, I think we only gave up 11 points per game that year. Defense definitely hasn't been the issue at Georgia. Now, I think this clearly was the best defense out of the bunch that Kirby has had. But Georgia's had defenses that were good enough pretty much every year since 2017.
Right. And the 2019 defense, it's really with 2019 and 2021, they only had one game. Right? The Alabama game this year and then the LSU game in 2019. Other than that, they basically shut everybody down. My other question to you would be, we just won a title with Stetson Bennett. We didn't win a title with Joe Burrow. Do you think that that's duplicable in the future? Do you think we're actually going to have a Joe Burrow, Mac Jones level quarterback?
I don't think the way Georgia won a national title this season is
repeatable.
As well, it is. But you have to have everything in place that you had this year, and I don't know that you'll have that again. I mean, you tell me. Let me just ask you. Let me just ask you this: if Bryce Young played for Georgia and Stetson Bennett played for Alabama, what would the score of that game been?
Probably 52-7.
So that answers your question. Do you want Bryce Young, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, or do you want Stetson Bennett? So I'm not knocking Stetson Bennett. Like Podlesny made a field goal. Yay! Okay, I'd rather have Hot Rod. Does that mean I hate Podlesny? No. But I'd rather have Hot Rod. Would you rather have A.D. Mitchell or any receiver on Ohio State's team?
I think their fifth string's probably better.
I'd rather have any receiver on Ohio State's team. Nothing against A.D. Mitchell. He made an amazing catch. I love A.D. Mitchell. Players can be good. That doesn't mean there can't be other players that are better. Stetson Bennett did what he had to do this year, and he was apparently the right fit for what Georgia had around him, offensively and defensively. I still think the injuries at wide receiver had more to do with Stetson Bennett being given the keys early in the season than anything else. I mean, who was JT Daniels going to throw the ball to? So, but, if you're asking me, do I think Georgia's chances are better in the future with quarterbacks like Stetson Bennett or quarterbacks like every other quarterback that's won a national title? I think the chances are better with quarterbacks like everyone else that's won a national title. I'm not knocking Stetson Bennett when I say that. He won the national title. But Is every player on Georgia's team the best player in the country just because Georgia won a national title? No, there are players that are better. So, and I guarantee you Kirby wants to improve at every single position on the field. He's not happy. He wants to improve everywhere, quarterback included. So, it's not a knock on Stetson Bennett for me to say that, but, I mean, realistically, there's not very many Power 5 teams that Stetson Bennett would start on. That's why he's at Georgia now. He thought about transferring last year. Come to find out he didn't have nowhere to go. So he came back to Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with you. I'm always going to like Stetson Bennett for what he did. He was the quarterback that led the team that won the national title. But it's fair to say that, and it's also fair to say he's not Bryce Young.
You want Buck Bellew or
you
want Buck Bellew or Aaron Murray?
Aaron Murray.
I mean, yeah. I mean, nothing against Buck Bellew. Congratulations. He completed one pass in the national title game against Notre Dame. Yay. And Georgia won the national title.
All right, Luke, keep doing what you're doing.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later. Yeah. Come on. Winning a national title doesn't make every player on your team the greatest player you've ever had, period. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, afternoon, Uncle Lou. This is Gavin, and man, I gotta say, I loved it. I enjoyed it. Getting to see us win. My stepmom had to ask if I was okay because I kind of shut down for a minute, didn't know what to say. But I don't think I felt it as much as some of these other fans did. I'm only 19. I haven't been waiting for it as long as some fans. But it was good. It was really good getting to have that moment with my family.
Yeah.
Night to remember.
Yeah, there's a lot of reaction videos floating around on YouTube and everywhere else, some compilation videos too, and you can really just see the the weight just getting lifted off of people's shoulders who have been waiting on this for a long, long time.
Oh yeah. I can't tell you how many videos I watched.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I did my fair shit talking too, but anyways, I wanted to talk to you about our running back room and what that's going to look like. Because even this year, I got to give credit to White, Cook, McIntosh. I really like seeing McIntosh, but I don't think our running back room has been as strong as it has been in past years. And going into the off season, I'm just curious where you think that's going to end up for next season.
Yeah, we were spoiled there's no Todd Gurley or Nick Chubb on this team. There wasn't this year. There won't be next year. I think our running backs are good enough.
Which is kind of what I was expecting White to do.
I think our running backs are good enough. And I like the way we are going out and recruiting Zeus and James Cook. Between the tackles back and a speed back that can catch. I like the way we're doing that. Next year, you're going to have Kendall Milton.
That is a nice
Kendall Milton will be taking the role of Zeus next year, and McIntosh will be taking the role of James Cook. And then you got Branson Robinson coming in as a freshman. You got Dejon Edwards. I think the running backs are fine.
We got to see a little bit of Milton.
Yeah, he's been injured.
I think
he's been injured. He got injured last year. He got injured this year. He's got to avoid the injury bug, but I think he's got a chance to be really, really good. The good thing about Milton is none of his injuries are long-term problems. Like, it's not like he tore an ACL or anything like that. Right. I don't want to minimize any injury, but different injuries have different consequences down the road. He hasn't really had anything serious. It's almost just been more like nagging type stuff that's kept him out. If he can avoid that, I think he's got a chance to be really, really good. And I love McIntosh. McIntosh, we're not going to lose that much from James Cook to McIntosh.
He surprised me this year.
He's really good. That catch he had in the national title game where he bobbled it 3 or 4 times, he can catch. That's a good weapon to have.
He kind of reminds me of Sony Michel a little bit with his power and then, that speed and just being able to separate.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
no doubt.
that's about that. That was my only question.
All right, buddy.
Have a good night,
Thanks
man.
for the call, and have a good morning. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great.
Man, I'm so happy, man. Our dogs finally won, man.
I know.
The national championship.
Feels good, don't it?
From 2012 when we were 5 yards away from winning national championship because we would have destroyed Notre Dame that year. 2017 obviously came close. And then finally get over this hump is just, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But let me go on a small rant right quick.
All right.
So, obviously, injuries are part of the game. And I never want to see a player get injured. Like, it's terrible. Like, we know it because Pickens goes down. We have so many injuries throughout the entire season. And, you just hate seeing that. And when Messi went down in the championship game in Atlanta, I was like, damn, man, I did not want to see that because he's a great receiver. And when Jameson Williams goes down in the national championship, I was like, man, I want to see both teams at full strength, healthy. You just want to see everyone play to their full ability. But I knew when he went down, if Georgia won the game, that Bama fans and other people would be like, well, you only won because Jameson Williams goes down. First of all, let me just say this right quick. Georgia has had so many injuries throughout the season. We lost George Pickens before the season even started. He tore his ACL. We lost Tyke Smith, our transfer from West Virginia, who played 3 snaps the entire year. All right. Eric Gilbert didn't play a single snap the entire season. All right. Tate Rutledge, our starting guard, got injured against Clemson. We lost our best pass rusher, legal issues. I mean, we've had injuries throughout the entire, and then we lost JT Daniels, our starting quarterback, for half the season. I mean, injuries are part of the game. I hated that happened to James Williams. But when he went down, the score was 3-3. It's not like Alabama was lighting the scoreboard up against Georgia when he was in a game. Georgia was doing a good job. I mean, he had one big play, but they make it seem like Alabama was up by 3 scores, and then Georgia, James Williams gets hurt, and then Georgia comes back. That's not how the game was. It was a close game. He goes down. It's terrible. But Georgia was playing with freshman receivers the entire year. Lad McConkey, A.D. Mitchell, Brock Bowers, a freshman tight end. Listen, Georgia was the better team. They were the best team all year. They had one bad game, and give Alabama credit, but Georgia won the win and counted. And Alabama wouldn't have been there if Bo Nix plays in the Iron Bowl. So you can do that both ways. But I'm going to the parade on Saturday. I can't wait. Go Dogs. And it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog, man. I'm so happy, man. But thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, Go Dogs. Thank you for the call, sir. It was good to hear from you. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou. All right. I guess not. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Uncle Lou. How y'all doing?
Doing
Go
great.
Dogs.
Go Dogs.
That's good. Hey, man, I just want to know your feelings on the officiating of the championship game.
It was no better or worse than any other game. The officiating is terrible across all of college football, and it has been all year.
It really has, but we had literally 2 identical situations on both sides, and I couldn't believe they called it so different. There was literally 14 points on the table. And I was like, I don't know, is there some sort of system that we can implement to fix this, or is it just something we got to put up with until we get full-time referees?
That's it. You need full-time referees. Stop dragging these middle school science teachers to the biggest games in America and making them referee games that they ain't got no business refereeing. All we ever hear about is how much money college football is making. They're printing money. Great. Start paying these referees $100,000 a year. Force them to quit whatever other job they have, or don't referee. Tell them you can't have another job. You're a full-time referee now. So from February to July, you're officiating mock games. You're looking at film of old games. You're also, and I don't care if this makes people mad either, we don't need no 75-year-old referees. I mean, what are we doing? A 25-year-old referee can't keep up with these football players, but you got a 70-year-old out there? It's insane. I'm sorry, but there needs to be an age limit. There needs to be a physical fitness test that you have to pass, and you need to be full-time. Thank you for the call. That's something I've been harping on for years. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Lou D from Atlanta. How you doing, man?
Doing good. What's up, bud?
Hey, nothing, man. Didn't really get a chance to call you too much during the season, but I definitely wanted to stay up past my bedtime tonight and wish you and tell you congratulations, man. I know it's a great feeling to wait. Wait a minute. Were you old? Are you old enough to remember the one in 80, or are you a little bit younger than that?
I was born in 78, so I was alive in 1980, but I didn't even start watching football until like the mid to late 80s.
Right. So you're in a total state of euphoria.
Yeah.
I know you're loving it, and for me, I was like 9 when we won the first one in 81. So 2016, I was in a state of euphoria until the start of the next season. I'm sure you will be too. I don't have a whole lot to add. Just wanted to call you and say congratulations, man. I know you've been waiting a long time for it. And congratulations to all the other legit Georgia fans, not the bandwagon ones, but the legit ones.
I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate you calling in.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later. All right, nobody else is on hold, so I'm going to turn the phones off. Dylan, thank you for the super chat. He says, must be a mass internet outage in Tennessee. Are there no Tennessee fans in here today? Well, that's a shame. That is a shame. Huffer Billy Paul, thank you for the super chat. Georgia's backups were better than Bama's. Look, nobody has recruited better over the last 4 years than Georgia and Alabama. They've got the top 2 most talented rosters in college football. The last 3 touchdowns that were scored by Georgia were all scored by freshmen. A.D. Mitchell, true freshman. Brock Bowers, true freshman. Keely Ringo, redshirt freshman. The only other person that scored for Georgia was Zeus. When Mechie went down in the SEC title game, all I heard for 37 days was that it didn't matter because Alabama's got this backup receiver that's amazing. They've got this freshman receiver that's unbelievable. I mean, for 37 days, I was told a Jaye Hall or whatever his name is was going to have 200 yards and 19 touchdowns in this game. Where was he? He was busy dropping passes. That's where he was. That's where he was. The better team won the game. That's what happened. It's not hard to figure out. Bama choked. Bama had a lead in the second half, and they lost it. They choked. Nick Saban got out-coached in the second half. A Heisman-winning quarterback got outplayed by a 5-foot walk-on. I mean, it's not hard to see what happened in this game. Westside Bear, thank you for the super chat. First time, long time. I didn't get you for a while, but I hung around. Thanks for a good show. Congrats and roll tide. Uncle Lou is an acquired taste, sir. I'm glad you stuck around long enough to realize that. We have a good time here. There's a lot of trash talk here, but it's not personal. That's just trash talk's just a part of college football to me. So I'm glad you stuck around. Frankie Tankersley, thank you for the super chat. Lou, in your opinion, is UJ close to having an elite gunslinger / dual threat anytime soon? Who do you feel will be our QB next year? I'm done trying to guess who the QBs are going to be. I mean, Brock Vandergrift can run around. Gunnar Stockton can run around. So, we'll see. And both of those guys have better arms than Stetson Bennett. So we'll see. Carson Beck and JT Daniels really are not that mobile or athletic. as far as who the quarterback next year will be, we got to wait and see what Stetson Bennett decides, because I think there's going to be a domino effect there. If Stetson Bennett leaves for whatever reason to go wherever, then maybe JT Daniels stays. If Stetson Bennett stays, then I think it's almost a certainty that JT Daniels leaves. I think it's possible that if Stetson leaves, JT Daniels still leaves. Off-season idea. Call other teams' clothing store asking for UGA national title merchandise. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Call the Alabama bookstore and ask me if they've got any Georgia 2021 national title shirts. It's a great idea. Oh, I should do that. I should sit down one day for about an hour and just record myself calling all these schools, bookstores, and asking about that. That really is a good idea. Kevin says, I think we lose 3 quarterbacks, Stetson, JT, and Carson. If we lose Stetson and JT, I think Kirby will bring a transfer in. Might not be Caleb Williams, but I think he'll bring somebody in with some experience, sort of like he tried to do with Jamie Newman. Caleb Williams is a Trojan, man. Well, what's he waiting on? That's my question earlier, because that's an easy decision and one that shouldn't take long to make. Lincoln Riley is there. A lot of his former teammates are there. The entire 2022 Oklahoma recruiting class is there. It seems to me like if he was going to Southern Cal, we would have known that already. I just don't understand why it would take him so long to decide if Southern Cal was where he was going. Kevin, I've never thought Caleb Williams would come to Georgia, but it's weird to me that he's waited this long. So that is a possibility, I think, that maybe Caleb Williams is waiting to see what Stetson and JT Daniels do. I don't know. I've got no idea. I never thought for a second Georgia would have a chance to land Caleb Williams, but it's surprising to me that he still hasn't made a decision. And that could be for the reason you're saying. I don't know that. I haven't heard that. No one's told me that. And I would question the sanity of any elite QB that would transfer to UGA, but I'd be happy to have him because if nothing else, if he's at Georgia, that means he's not somewhere else. Who can possibly challenge Bama and UGA in the SEC for the foreseeable future? It's Bama, Georgia, than everyone else. If Texas A&M keeps recruiting the way they are, that's a possibility. I have my questions about Brian Kelly at LSU, but they're always really talented. I think Florida, even if Billy Napier ends up being a good coach, I think Florida's several years away from challenging for the SEC or a playoff spot. It's hard to buy all the way into Tennessee. Lisa Ann or Ava Adams? Ava Adams. Ole Miss, maybe. I like Lane Kiffin, and I think Ole Miss is always going to have a dangerous offense. But I don't know that Ole Miss can recruit at the level that it takes to get over all those humps. What happened to the end of the national championship live stream? I don't have any idea. I haven't rewatched it. You tell me. What happened to it? What is it, gone? What do you mean? Just like part of it's cut out? It's 4 hours and 40 minutes long. That should be the whole thing, shouldn't it? Let me see. Unless YouTube's screwing with me. Oh, I don't know what happened. I see it's frozen. Yeah, I see that now. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. It's frozen at some point. I've got no idea. No idea. But don't worry, I clipped out the good part.
2021 in the goddamn chat! 2021 in the fucking chat! 2021 in the goddamn chat! No more 1980, you stupid motherfuckers! Type, type, type! Type, type, type! Type, type, type!
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the video, though. It freezes up at some point. Where does it freeze? It freezes at like the 212 mark. 213, 215. It freezes it with no two. Oh yeah, it freezes right around the 2 hours and 14-minute mark. I don't know what happened there. I have no idea. I have no idea. It wasn't like that at first because that's how I clipped that. That's how I clipped that part out I just played. So I don't know what's going on. YouTube is a Bama fan. It might take a few days to get back to normal. Maybe. I'm not sure what happened there. As far as I know, none of my other live streams have ever done that. Alexis, Texas. You should take your shirt off more often. Yeah, you're probably right. Well, here you go. I'll play this for you. There you go. Make sure you're sitting down. Make sure you're sitting down, okay? Since you like Uncle Lou with his shirt off. Make sure you're sitting down for this one.
Come on!
I'm not only going to further my academic
Oh,
career,
come on, please! UGA! No! No! What are you doing? Oh my God, no! What are you doing? Aubrey Solomon, listen to me. Listen. People be talking, Uncle Lou, let go. Let go. He's not coming to UGA. He's not. I said, no, he's coming to UGA. He's a savage. He's going to put up for his hometown team. No, you want to go to, why? You want to go play in the car? Fine. Go to Michigan. Great. Have a great time playing football in the world's largest outdoor refrigerator. What are you, Jim Harbaugh? Really? Is this what you want? Here. Aubrey Solomon. Is this you want one of Jim Harbaugh's stupid spend the night parties? Huh? Hey, I'm Jim Harbaugh. Come to my house. Have a spend the night party. Oh my God. I get all these high school kids over to my house. We'll put our pajamas on and have a freaking spend the night party. Oh, that's great. Great job. Great job. Enjoy yourself up there in Michigan.
Now, that probably did you in there, didn't it? Rob D, thank you for the super chat. If I'm Kirby, I start Gunner the next 3 years, an elite athlete playing QB, also moving Sire to guard and Jones to tackle equals Saban putting in Tua 2017. We couldn't run the ball, then we could. Yeah, somebody brought that up earlier. And that's a point I hadn't thought about. Matthew, I saw that comment the first time you typed it, and it's not worth responding to. That's why I didn't. What's the story tonight? There ain't one that I'm aware of. Jameson Williams enters the draft. So if Jameson Williams gets drafted in the first round, I want to know why all these quitters quit. If Jameson Williams gets drafted in the first round, why do the quitters quit? That's what I want to know. So we'll see where he gets drafted. So will Matt Corral. Yeah, well, all he did was sprain his ankle. So that's not, of course he will. Jameson Williams tore his ACL. So we'll see where he gets drafted, because that's what you hear. You can't play in the bowl game. What if you tear your ACL? What if we play in bowl game, tear ACL? They don't get drafted. If you're good, you're going to get drafted. How did a 6-7 Auburn team beat an 11-2 Ole Miss team? That's a great question. Same way Texas A&M beat Alabama, I guess. Oh, Jameson Williams comes from a millionaire family, so that's why he played? Okay, right. The point is, what risk are you talking about? Jameson Williams played 3 days ago, tore his ACL. Do you think he's getting drafted in the first round, yes or no? If you think he is, then you can't then justify someone sitting out the second week of December for the same reason. I don't know if it was the best season. It was a great season, though. A lot of upsets. Yeah, Nicole, you watch enough Uncle Lou, you're going to go through a lot of batteries. That I can tell you. Bella Danger. Riley Reed needs to eat a bunch of sandwiches. Yeah, you tell him, VicTube, the Uncle Lou OnlyFans is where it's at. Blocking? No. Timing out? Yeah. You get timed out for typing 1980. That joke died 3 days ago. You had 7 years to type it on this channel. You should have took advantage of it during that 7-year period. Elijah, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, feel like Tennessee was screwed by that call in the bowl game. Also did enough to lose the game themselves, but also really feel like they need to do something about the fake injuries on defense and find some better refs. There's nothing you can do about faking injuries, and you shouldn't let a game with Purdue come down to where a referee can decide it at the end. Also, when all you need is a field goal, why are you throwing 45-yard Hail Marys the entire last minute of the game? It made no sense. Play calling at the end of the game was piss poor. The defense was piss poor for the entire game. But, yeah, that was a bad call. No, Jonathan, I don't. Stetson Bennett has already congratulated me and thanked me for what I did this season. If Alabama would have had both their starting wide receivers, would the game be different? If Georgia had all their starters, would the game been different? Injuries are part of football. The last 3 touchdowns Georgia scored was scored by freshmen, while Alabama's freshmen were running around not knowing what the fuck they were doing and dropping passes all game long. Stone cold. Normal salad. Brock Bowers, the next Gronk. He reminds me more of Travis Kelce. Roquan Smith or Nakobe Dean. God, that's tough. I really liked Roquan. And I think Dean had better players around him than Roquan did, especially the front. Why is Clown Mullen getting airtime as an ESPN analyst? Because no one else will hire him. I'll never, probably not, Mike. I wish, but chances are, no. Chances are there will be more broke TVs in my future. I'll have to say A.J. Green right now because Pickens just didn't get an opportunity to play that much, unfortunately. Pickens was screwed out of a third season by injuries. Yeah, and he was screwed out of a second season by Stetson Bennett. I would take Dan Mullen as an offensive coordinator. It would never happen. Are there any differences between Richt and Kirby? Someone should time you out for even asking that. I hope you're trolling, because if you're serious, you've got no business being on a college football channel if you really have to ask that question. Yeah, I saw the new mini helmet. I'll get it. I'm not that high on Dejon Edwards. I mean, Dejon Edwards plays in the fourth quarter of 40-point blowouts when the defense has already given up. So he looks pretty, he looks really good. But it's hard to judge based on that. I need to see him play in the first quarter of some games. And maybe we'll get to see that next year, although I think it's going to be mostly Kendall Milton and Kenny McIntosh. Uncle Lou on College Game Day next year? Not live. No. Any upcoming videos? Yeah, I've got one last Your Season Is Over video coming out. And then I'm going to do, I'll probably do, well, I've got several videos coming out, but the Your Season Is Over is one of them. I'm probably going to do a way too early top 25. Maybe tomorrow, but if it comes out tomorrow, it'll be late. My son has a doctor's appointment at 1:15, I think. So I've got to pick my son up from school at like 12:15 to get him to a doctor's appointment at 1:15, and it's right in the middle of the day. I wouldn't have time to do it, but I have the morning show from 8 to 10 a.m. I wouldn't have time to do it after the morning show before I've got to go get him for that doctor's appointment. We'll see how long that doctor's appointment takes. See what time it is when I get back home. No, it's just his yearly physical. There's nothing wrong with him. Not physically. I'm not planning on ever seeing Eric Gilbert in a Georgia helmet. But if it happens, I'll be pleasantly surprised. I'd love to have him, but he's got some issues that are bigger than football. I hope he gets them worked out. All right, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Had a good time on the call-in show. We'll do it again next week, Tuesday and Thursday night. Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show, every Tuesday and Thursday year-round. There is no off-season here. None at all. I'll be on live Monday night here on this channel with Pigskin Pete for the Lunch Money Show. I've got the morning show over on my second channel every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8 a.m. And if I don't get that Your Season Is Over video up tomorrow, then it will be up Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, I've got all day. I don't have any obligations Saturday or Sunday, so you might get 2 videos a day on Saturday and Sunday because I've got a list of about 5 that I'm wanting to do before I move on and start talking about next season. There's still about 4 or 5 videos left that I want to make about this past season. So, but I appreciate y'all hanging out tonight. I had a good time. Thanks to everybody that was able to call in tonight. Had some great calls. Thanks to everybody in the comments section for keeping it lively and entertaining. And, of course, a big shout-out to everybody that was able to hit the Super Chat, the PayPal, and the Cash App and help support the shows. Direct donations is the only thing that keeps these live shows going, so I really, really appreciate those of you that are able to do that. It means a lot to me, especially with the off-season coming up. This is my, this is a full-time job for me. This is how I support myself. This is how I feed my kids. And it gets rough in the off season. So I really appreciate those of you that are going to stick around. Really means a lot. We're going to have fun this off season. All right. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you again real soon. Have a good morning.